Hey guys, George Souris, Empire Legal. This week's topic, everything you need to know about the finance clause. Okay, so Section 3 of REIQ contracts in Queensland are all about the finance clause. So what is the finance clause? The finance clause is there to allow a buyer a safety net to obtain finance. So here in Queensland, how it works is if there's a finance clause in play, you have a certain amount of time, which is completely negotiated. Usually 14 days is an average amount. Sometimes you see 7 days, sometimes you see 21. It's all subject to negotiation. So what does that look like? The whole purpose is to obtain an unconditional approval from the lender. So the bank being on the hook to say, yes, we will give you the money to purchase this property. That involves a whole lot of things like looking through your finances, your income, evaluation on the property you're looking to purchase, etc. With the whole goal being for at the end of the day, the bank to say, yes, we will unconditionally approve you and give you the money. What happens if you can't get that approval? The whole point of the clause is there so that in the event that you can't, you can terminate the contract and your deposit monies are returned to you and the contract's at an end. First thing, page 3 of the contract has the finance section. You'll see an extract of this in our blog, a screenshot. All 3 sections must, I repeat, must be completed. Otherwise, there's no finance clause. So, what are these sections? The first section is the finance amount. So, how much money is the bank going to bring? Usually that is filled in with sufficient to complete so that you don't have to apply for a specific dollar amount. It can be whatever's required to complete settlement. The second section is financier. So which bank are you using? Commonly, this is entered as buyer's choice, which allows the buyer free rein to pick any lender or financial institution that they please. And the third one is time frame. So this is where you'll see 7 days, 14, 21 days, etc. Again, there's a little notice next to this saying that if all 3 sections aren't complete, then the contract is not subject to finance. Now, this is a trap for new players. So you want to make sure you check every time all 3 sections are complete or there's no finance clause. When you pick apart the standard terms of the finance clause, there's a couple of things we need to quickly look at. One is the ability to take reasonable steps. So there was a famous case, Half and Anor versus Miller back in 2013, where on the contract, the financial institution was specifically listed as ING. Now, what happened is this buyer went and applied for a loan, not through ING though, didn't get it, terminated under finance. Seller sued them, and the whole point being, they were meant to go through ING as their lender as per the contractual obligations. They didn't even lodge an application with ING. So they were found to have not validly terminated. Consequently, when you don't validly terminate a contract, deposits can be forfeited and you can be sued for any losses suffered. So not a great situation. Another thing I want to bring to your attention when looking at the finance clause is that the approval is on terms satisfactory to the buyer. Now, what does that mean? Well, something such as an interest rate change or the term of a loan may no longer make that loan satisfactory to you. But again, remember before, we said you have to act reasonably. So you have to take all reasonable steps that you can to obtain finance. You can't just terminate under this clause if you haven't taken reasonable steps. You're at risk. Again, your deposit could be taken and you could be sued for any losses suffered. Another thing to keep in mind is just because you've got an approval from a bank doesn't mean it's an unconditional approval. You need to be 100% sure that that bank is going to give you the money unconditionally before you satisfy the finance clause, because once you've satisfied that clause, you can no longer exit the contract if you can't find the funds to settle. You must settle, otherwise you're in breach of your obligations and you can get sued. Okay guys, that's it for this week. Nice, short and sharp. We've got 60 followers now, so we're getting some momentum. Watch out, we're going to be YouTube famous. So if you can subscribe, if you get any value out of this. Being serious though, if you do subscribe, if you like the content, it helps us spread the good word to more people. If you have any feedback or topic suggestions, I want you to email me, george@empirelegal.com.au. Thank you, everybody. See you next week.